Carl here from Brrraaains A Head-Banging Life, gbhbl.com for short, and you're about to listen to an interview we conducted with Dreamshade's Fernando, guitarist and vocalist. In this interview we talk all about the brand new album A Pale Blue Dot, which was released on March 5th, 2021, including some of the ideas behind it, themes and subjects that Dreamshade looked to cover across it, as well as their connection to their fan base, listening and understanding feedback, and much, much more. Sit back and enjoy. Brilliant, brilliant. Well, Fernando, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me. First things first, straightforward. How's your day going?
Pretty good. I've been doing a lot of interviews lately, and I'm getting used to it. So it's been great. We just released the record on Friday, and I'm very, very happy about how it's going. It's crazy. We've been getting a lot of good feedback.
Of course, it's that time of point, isn't it, where you basically, as part and parcel of being a band, you have to do your PR. So you're out interviewing before you interview and afterwards, and everyone's asking you the same questions over and over again.
It's fine.
Well, the last 12 months then, obviously we live within the COVID times, and that has changed everything for everyone. How have you been holding up in those over this period?
So luckily we had so many things to do for the band. So we did work very, very hard, and we are still working very hard. We basically never stopped writing, and we're still going on writing. We already have a couple songs that are not on the record that are fresh. Yeah. And it's crazy. We're still working very hard in the studio. So I'm very happy, honestly.
Okay. Do you reckon you would have been doing quite as much writing had you not been limited to, say, playing live and the likes of that?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that COVID is a bad thing, but it's good for this, because it did really spark a new type of artistic flame in us, and we just, took advantage of it.
That's pretty much the best you could basically do, really.
Absolutely.
Did you feel any kind of pressure or expectation on you? Because obviously when every artist around the world is locked down, so to speak, no one can play live, there became an expectation on a fan point of view that you must be busy. You must be busy. I'll take it you didn't feel that pressure.
I don't know. Maybe some pressure, but it wasn't like something that we were really thinking about. We were really focused, on making art and making, our new songs and our jams really shine before going out to the public, and we just wanted to go there and say, there, now you have everything you need. just use it. That's what we wanted, honestly, because we feel like we've done some songs that are really positive. So people can use that type of energy on during their, through their lives right now. And it's something that I think it's very important that, that an artist does in a moment like this. I know it's nobody can tour, so you cannot support the record and everything, but I don't know, it's something that can also be used somehow.
Yeah. I mean, you'd say as well, you're in a stronger position. Obviously, as you said, the album is literally at the time of recording days old for fan base. And with things in a lot of places beginning to look like they might be heading in a positive direction, vaccines and so on, it does kind of feel like the Dreamshade train, it's beginning to pick up some speed, right?
Absolutely. I really hope that the situation will get better in every country, because as you know, especially here in mainland Europe, every single country has a totally different situation. So touring wise, it's something that I'm still really, skeptical a little bit, but I'm still hopeful. I mean, absolutely. I've seen, shows posters posted, and something is happening. But until I see, the trend go down of cases, I'm not really sure.
No, I completely understand what you're saying. Here in the UK, we kind of have a roadmap, and in theory, if everything goes right from June 21st, everything will be able to happen. So the moment that got announced, shows left, right, and center started being announced. And it's very exciting. But when you guys being in mainland Europe, as you say, it's not just about COVID issues. without going into it too deeply, I guess you've also got to take, if you want to come to the UK, you've got to take the whole Brexit thing into account as well.
Right. We're gonna find solutions. I really miss playing the UK. It's been some years now, and I really love the audience, honestly, and it's something that we definitely want to do again. And especially right now, we feel like we are having a decent amount of people listening to Dreamshade from the UK. So I guess it can be one of our markets in the future.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, congratulations anyway on the release of the new album, A Pale Blue Dot. How relieved are you now just to have it out there finally, and everybody can hear it and judge it?
I'm so relieved. It's been very hard to hold this track from the public, and waiting this long during the pandemic to release it and everything and have everything figured out. It's been stressful, and the build up to an album is something that an artist really lives in a very weird way. I bet that every artist has a different type of perspective on it, but it's something that you're very unsure of. Yeah. Like, even if you have the best record in your life, it still feels like the days that are coming prior to that moment is like you have mixed feelings. Like, I can't wait to throw this out there, and maybe something is gonna be wrong.
Yeah,
gonna go wrong. And that's a mixed feeling, that it's very stressful, honestly.
You've lost control at that point. There's no more control. It's
absolutely.
It's your baby growing up to be an age 18.
I don't know how to explain that in a different way, but I feel like people can totally understand that. Like,
one of the more interesting things, obviously, about the album from our perspective is, obviously, it's quite thought-provoking. It urges people to think about the planet, the universe, things we do in it, and its title is inspired by Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
These sort of questions these days, they're being asked a bit more and more, but answers seem to be less forthcoming. When it came to that aspect of it, is it something that frustrates you guys as a unit that we don't have the answers we kind of need at this stage?
Sometimes it does, but I would say it's also very, that veil of mystery, that those existential questions that you ask yourself. I mean, at least I do, and I do it pretty often. It's somehow fascinating,
Yeah.
Because there are people who work at these things their whole life, their entire life, right? So there are progress being made. And I feel like we can't be frustrated to not have those type of answers, because we're used to, to have everything figured out, and you just go on the internet and look for your question and you have something to read about. But about this type of things, it's something that still to this day, with all the progress that has been done, is something that I feel is very inspiring for mankind as a whole. Like, that type of feeling that I really want to know about a thing that nobody knows about.
Yeah, and it's I know what you're saying, but then as well, these days, particularly thanks to social media and all that, someone might come out and prove something correct, and it just descends into a bit of an argument back and forth about proof and science and all that. Is that how do you guys spin that into a more positive light that you often try to do?
So you're talking about people not agreeing with scientists?
Yeah. Even look at example like now during the COVID times as that,
I guess everybody can have their own opinion, but there are things that are just proved, and it's hard to put it in words what I'm thinking, but to me, it's still weird to see people that argue with everything they're told from from good sources, at least. I mean, of course, you have to stay very careful what you read on the internet, but you can absolutely choose where you take your information. So I feel that everybody knows how to use the internet right now because they are forced to be on it, but not everybody is educated on how to use it properly. So that's something that I really struggle with. Like, it doesn't make me mad, but when I think about the future, I don't want my possible children to be so uneducated about the internet. And I understand that it's like that because the internet arrived so fast and changed everything around us so fast that it totally skipped, 2 or 3 generations. So it's something that we're still getting used to.
Yeah.
To be honest. And I understand that older people and younger people use it differently than I do and that you do probably. And that's something we're going to get used to. And I hope that in the future, maybe, who knows, maybe 10 years from now, they're going to teach in school how to use the internet. What should you be, aware of at least?
Yeah, a little bit more responsibility, as it were, so to speak. I mean, a good example is your single, Stone Cold Digital. You talk about technology and the relationship that we have with it and the toxicity that comes with it.
Yeah.
Do you think we have an over-reliance on technology these days?
I feel that technology is absolutely one of the best things that ever happened.
Yeah.
And it's something that we can really use to our advantage. But what we make of it, it's up to us. It can go 2 different ways, We can use that to entertain us and have fun with and everything, but we can also use it to explore and just to help us discover somehow and learn more and it's just not regulated enough.
Right. Yeah.
Because also this possibility that everybody has to comment without any type of consequence. You can go to an artist that you like and insult him and tell and wish him death or death threats and everything, and you're not getting any consequences, because it's weird to me to think that you can do that on the internet, but you would never do that type of action in real life, right?
Absolutely.
Because in real life, if you go to a person and do that, you're gonna have consequence. So that I don't know, makes me feel a little bit weird. And when I see all these people going mad on the web, I feel like I would never even comment a band that I like or an artist that I like. Why would you go there and insult his mother and his sister and say awful things on the internet where everybody can see you? It's pretty weird to me.
Yeah, it is. There's almost a disconnect between a digital person and a real person.
Absolutely.
So when people hear the words toxic technology, their mind tends to jump to the social media aspect and the rise of that. Now you're in a band, which kind of forces your hand to have to use those platforms, all of them, in some way to promote yourselves and get your music heard. How much of that aspect do you enjoy? And how do you get the balance between your personal life and the band correct?
Okay. So I enjoy using it, honestly, because it allows me to keep contact with the people that love the band.
Yeah.
And I feel super lucky because we have a type of audience that is not there to because we are similar to many other bands and they just follow a trend.
True.
So that is so cool to me that we have an audience that is very dedicated and really tries to understand what is behind the music. And we always told everybody we're not going to share our personal life with you, but we're going to be there for anything that is that is related to our music, to our songs, and to what you feel about the music. And we just created these little communities where people share thoughts, and often they are very, very deep. And it's something that I feel very lucky about, because I know that many other colleagues in other bands don't have that and can't have that, and maybe have the total contrary. Maybe they have to be on the internet all the time and show their personal lives because that's what the people want on their platforms, and that's something that we're not gonna do. So I guess you can somehow decide and build something that is more similar to you as a person.
Well, that's fascinating. So I love the idea that you say you have that disconnect without really disconnected from the band. However, the fan base, as you just said, are encouraged to open up and be quite free when it comes to talking to you. That's an interesting, you don't often get that. Normally people are open up only when you open up. So that's quite an amazing feat. That's
the contrary for us. I mean, we do open up through the music because we really put everything of our lives in it. And so people do know things about us that are pretty personal, but we cannot, go around and show the people that are in our lives and how our houses are made and, what we're going to wear, what we like to, I don't know, eat or something. Or at least maybe that's something that we might do, but it's not something important. And they open up mostly because the songs are talking to them. And that's where we relate.
Yeah.
Like it was back in the day, because back in the day, you cannot go to your favorite artist and just shoot them a message or a comment or whatever. You remember that it's something that I feel like it's still needed somehow. I mean, I still try to reply to every message and every comment that I feel like it's good to be replied.
Yeah.
But I try to keep it that way because I know that social media is the same platforms for everybody, but the reason we are there is music.
Of course. It's every artist's dream to have that connection with a fan, even if it's 1 or 100. So that's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are not a huge band like, I don't know, Metallica. So of course they're going to have a different type of audience, and probably they are not even managing their social media. So
I doubt
it's fine. And but I'm just talking about my reality because I don't know what other bands are living, and I bet it's gonna be different for everybody. So I can't talk for every artist. I'm just talking about Dreamshade.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still incredible to hear. And obviously, you use your platform, your band, your music to speak how you wish to speak. And that's a very welcome thing most of the time. Rock and metal fans, we can sometimes be a bit funny about bands sort of using the platform to say something. And even if it's in certain couple of your songs, bit about the planet and perhaps the destruction and stuff like that. Do you ever worry about being too, dare I say the right word, political? Or does that not even come into it?
I won't say so. I mean, I'm worried. Worried is not the right word. I'm never worried about what we say because everybody can have their own opinion, and we're not blaming anybody in the songs. Instead, we're trying to have people reflecting on things, especially on the very important things. And we're not activists. We are not always right. We are not trying to say, hey guys, you're doing something wrong and I know how to do things. That's not what we do. We never did. We just try to have these photographs of what we're living on every album. Like the songs represent the moment in time. Yeah. And that's what we do. If we feel a certain way, we can say that. And if people do not agree, I still hope they can think about they can think deeply about something that is very important, not for yourself as a person, or sometimes also, but as a community, as a big family. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. Any thought, be it agreeing with you or disagreeing, is always going to be worth having. because
Yes.
it's something. And the reaction, as you already said, the reaction to the album has been phenomenal, incredible, and it's only been a few days. So this feedback, and when you're seeing and stuff like that, how much of it do you take to heart? Are you able to sit back and relax and go, okay, it's the initial thought, let me see what the dust is like in a month's time?
You're never relaxed. Honestly, when you release records, it's always gonna be something hard, because something that has been with you and in you before that, and you put it on the record, once it's there, it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
And I both love and hate it because I feel like I see the songs in a certain way before release them, and then I see the same songs in a different way after the release and after months, years after the release. So I don't know what to say. It's still the most awesome thing of all to be able to share your art with so many people. So I guess that the sense in the songs can only be found after, I don't know, at least 1 year from the release, because a real good record, it's something that is going to stay in time, especially in 2021. That's what we wanted, and we're always trying to do. And we're always looking for that moment where we see our own music as fans. So when you are an artist and you're finally able to listen to your own music and enjoy the record, honestly enjoy the record, that's something that never happens. And when it happens, it's amazing, because you feel like, okay, I would not change anything on this record. And that's very rare. With this record, right now, I feel that way. It could change in a year time. Who knows? Maybe people would make me hate this.
Yeah, I was going to say.
No, I'm joking.
But of course, it's an ever-evolving period. And as you move forward, so does the music and so on. Obviously, a live calendar, we will have to see what happens as the year goes on and in regards to that. But now the album's out, you already mentioned that you're working on other stuff. Is this Dreamshade's time to perhaps just relax for a little while now? Or is it still full steam ahead?
I think we don't have time for that. I mean, honestly, it just feels good working so hard on things that you really believe in, and we are so excited. Honestly, I mean, the whole team and our family and friends that also sometimes work around us is ecstatic. Like, everybody loves the record. They already heard some of the songs that we're working on, and there is something there that is very right.
Okay.
And I can't wait to work on the next songs already. And I don't know, I feel very lucky, because after 15 years to be able to say this is something that I would have never thought.
It always makes me laugh when I'll be speaking to someone like yourself about your current release, and all you really want to do is talk about what you're doing next. But you can't, of course. That stuff's got to be.
I do want to talk about the release. It's fine. I mean, I'm just saying that everything is going so fast, and I'm just, in the middle of the storm of things that are happening around me, and I feel lucky that it's happening during a pandemic. It's weird. It's very weird.
Yeah, that sort of situation can never be taken for granted.
Absolutely. I've seen so many people, split up during this year that it's been sad. It's been really sad, and I couldn't be luckier right now. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy to me.
No, I'm glad.
I'm just grateful. It's.
No, that's fantastic. Absolutely, and it's good to hear. Fernando, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. It's been great, man.
Thank you very much for watching. You can check us out on gbhbl.com, as well as on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and Tumblr. Go to Patreon and help us out over there. That's patreon.com/gbhbl, as well as Big Cartel, where you can find some of our merchandise. We have a podcast running on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And of course, if you like this video, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button and help the channel grow. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?